Hello students, welcome to this 15th lecture of the mechanical properties of the fluid. We will proceed the part now. Now student, as you can see, it is the diagram which shows the flow of an ideal fluid through a tube of varying cross section and height. Now consider an element of fluid that lies between cross section P and R. You can see in the diagram the cross section we have to consider between the P and R. Now the V1 and V2 be the speed of fluid at the lower end P and the upper end R respectively. Now the A1, that is capital A1 and capital A2, be the cross section areas of the fluid at the lower end P and the upper end R respectively. Now P1 and P2 be the pressure of the fluids at the lower end P and the upper R respectively. Now the P1 and P2 be the pressures of the fluid at the lower end P and the upper end R respectively, as we have seen. Now the D1 and D2 be the distances traveled by the fluid at the point P1 at the lower end P and the upper end R. Now during the time interval dt with the velocities v1 and v2 respectively, the p1a1 and the p2a2 be the forces acting on the equations of continuity, which is a1v1 is equal to a2v2 is the equation of continuity. Now the volume dv of the fluid passing through any cross section during time interval dt is the same, that is dv is equal to a1 d1 is equal to a2 d2. Thus, as there is no internal friction in the fluid, as the fluid is ideal. In practice also, a fluid like a water and the loss in energy due to viscous force is negligible. Now, so the only non-gravitational force that does work on the fluid element is due to the pressure of surrounding fluid. Now, therefore, the net work, that is W, net work done W on the element by the surrounding fluid during the flow from P to R, as you can see in the diagram, during the flow of P to R will be given by the W is equal to P1A1 minus P2D2A2. Now the second term in the above equation has a negative sign because the force at R opposes the displacement of fluid. So it is necessary to understand why the negative sign has been given there. It is because of the force at the R. You can see the force at the R opposes the displacement of the fluid. Thus the above equation may be further written as, so thus this equation may be given as W is equal to P1 dV and P2 dV, as we have replaced the value A1 d1 by the dV and the A2 d2 by the dV. So as it will be termed as that area, that the volume. Now the W is equal to, we will take common the P1 minus P2 into dV. Now as the work W is due to the forces other than the conservative force of gravity, it is equal to change in total mechanical energy, that is kinetic energy plus gravitational energy. That's why the mathematically we can write as W is equal to delta Ke plus delta P. So the mechanical energy for the fluid between the section Q and R does not change. Now here we can see at beginning of the time interval dt, the mass and the kinetic energy of the fluid between P and Q, you can see in the diagram, it is rho and A1 d1 and half into rho into A1 d1 into V1 square respectively. At the end of this time interval dt, the kinetic energy of the fluid between the section R and S is half rho into A2 d2 into V2 square. Therefore, the net change in the kinetic energy delta Ke during the interval dt is delta K is equal to half rho into A2 d2 V2 square minus half rho into A1 d1 V1 square. Now, this may be also given as delta K is equal to half rho into D into capital V into V2 square minus half into rho into D capital V into V1 square. Now this total may be given as delta K is equal to half rho dV will be the terms which will be taken common. So half rho dV into bracket V2 minus V1 bracket square. Now as you can say, the gravitational potential energy of the mass m between P and Q is mgh1 is equal to rho dVgh1. Now at the end of the interval dt, means when the time interval dt will be there, the gravitational potential energy of mass m between R and S is mgh2 is equal to rho into d into v GH2. Therefore, the net change in gravitational potential energy delta P during the time interval of dt may be given as delta P is equal to rho into d VGH2 minus rho into d VGH1. So delta P may be further given as rho into d Vg into H2 minus H1 will be the term. Now, by using this equation, we can write the P1 minus P2 delta V is equal to half rho dV into bracket V2 square minus V1 square plus rho dVg into bracket H2 minus H1. So this term may be further given as the dV will be the term which is on the either side of the equality sign will be get cancelled. So remaining term will be into bracket P1 minus P2 is equal to half rho into bracket V2 square minus V1 plus rho into G into bracket H2 minus H1. So this is the entire equation of Bernoulli's, or you can say this is the Bernoulli's equation, which is P1 minus P2 is equal to half rho into V2 minus V1 square plus rho G into bracket H2 minus H1. So from this equation you can calculate the pressures, that is P1 and P2, V1, V2 that is final and initial velocities, density or the height from which H is considered. So these are the terms that you can consider that you can calculate with the help of Bernoulli's equation. So students, this Bernoulli's equation, it states that the work done per unit volume means work done per unit volume means your V1 minus V2 V1 square minus V2 square, and means and the of the fluid work done per unit volume of a fluid of surrounding fluid is equal to sum of the changes of kinetic and potential energy, means you may have seen in the equation, and these kinetic energy and potential energies energies per unit volume that occurs during the flow. So this is the equation Bernoulli's equation gives us. Now from that above equation we can write it as P1 plus half rho into V1 square plus rho into G into H1 is equal to P2 into P2 plus half into rho into V2 square plus rho into G into H2. So we can write that equation in this manner also. This equation may be written as P plus half rho V square plus rho into GH, which will be constant. So in this two manner we can write this Bernoulli's equation, and we can calculate these terms which have absence in this equation. Now we will see the application of the Bernoulli's equation. So the first application is speed of efflux. So the word efflux means a fluid outflow. Then the Torricelli discovered that the speed of efflux from an open tank is given by the formula identical to that of the free falling body. So as you can see the arrangement in the diagram, that is one of the tank, and the pressure you can see of the layer P, and at the outer end means from which the water is coming out is the P0, and the area which is inside the tank is A1, and outside the tank, that the way of outside the tank, it is A2, and the H is the height at which the liquid has been filled into that tank, you can see in the diagram. Now consider a liquid of density rho filled in the tank of a large cross sectional area A1 having an orifice of cross sectional area A2 at the bottom, you can see. Now let A2 is too smaller than the A1, means A2 is too smaller, you can see in the diagram. The liquid flows out of tank through the orifice. Let V1 and V2 be the speeds of the liquid at A1 and A2 respectively, means V1 is the speed of that liquid at the area A1 and the V2 is the speed of the liquid at area A2 respectively. Now as the both inlet and outlet are exposed to the atmosphere, the pressure at this position equals to the atmospheric pressure P0. If the height of this free surface above the orifice is h, Bernoulli's equation given as P0 plus half rho into V1 square plus rho into G into h is equal to P0 plus half into rho into V2 square. So using equation of continuity, means as we know that equation of continuity is A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. So this, by using this, we can calculate the value of V1 is equal to A2 upon A1 into V2. Thus, by the using of equation of continuity, we can write by substituting this value of V1 into the above equation, which is Bernoulli's equation, we can write half into rho A2 upon A1 bracket square into V2 square plus rho into G into H is equal to half rho into V2 square. So this has the some modification that we have done into the Bernoulli's equation by putting the value of V1, which is A2 upon A1 into V2. So this equation may be further written as the 1 by 2 into rho is on the either side of this equality sign, so this will be get cancelled automatically. So remaining terms will be A2 upon A1 bracket square into V2 square plus 2GH is equal to V2 square. So by using this, we can rearrange the equation in the way that 2GH is equal to V2 square minus A2 upon A1 bracket square into VT square. So this is the equation that we can say now. So hence this may be also written as 1 minus A2 upon A1 bracket square into V2 square is equal to 2GH, as the A2 is too smaller than the A1. So the above equation reduced and can be written as V2 is equal to root of 2GH. So students, this is the equation of speed of a liquid flowing out through the orifice at the depth h below the free surface. It is the same as that of the particle falling free through the height h under the gravity. Now students, we will see the second application, that is the Venturi tube. You can see the diagram of the Venturi tube. A Venturi tube is used to measure the speed of flow of fluid in the tube. It has constriction in the tube. Now as you can see, the middle there is a constriction. Now as a fluid passes through the constriction, its speed increases in accordance with the equation of continuity. The pressure thus decreases as the required by the Bernoulli's equation. Thus the fluid of density rho flows through the Venturi tube. The area of cross section A1 at wider part and the A2 at the constriction part. Now let the speeds of the fluid A1 and A2 be, and the V1 and V2 and the velocities and the pressure are the P1 and P2 respectively. Now by using the Bernoulli's equation, we can write that to the Venturi tube A1 and A2, if the difference is in height of liquid level is tube's h, now the P1 minus P2 will be rho GH. Now substituting this value into that Bernoulli's equation, we will get 2GH is equal to V2 minus V1 square. Now from the equation of continuity, which is A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2, substituting V1 in terms of V2 or vice versa in above equation, then we will get the rate of flow of liquid passing through the cross sectional can be calculated by the knowing the areas A1 and A2. Now students, we will see the fourth one application, that is the working of an atomizer. The action of the diagram you can see on your screen. The action of carburetor of an automobile engine or paint gun, scent spray or insect sprayer is based on the Bernoulli's principle. In all these, a tube T is dipped in a liquid as shown in figure. Now air is blown at the high speed over the tip of the tube with the help of the piston P and the cylinder C. This high speed air creates low pressure over a tube, due to which the liquid rises into it and blown off in a very small droplet with the expelled air. So this is how the working of an atomizer works. Now students, we will see the fifth one application, that is the blowing of roofs by the stormy wind. Now you can see there is one model of home you can see, and there is the direction which is from the up top to down of that roofs. Now you can see the direction of that wind has been shown from the over that house, means over that roof in the curved way, as you can see. Now when a high speed or stormy wind blows over the rooftop, it causes the low pressure P above the roof in accordance with the Bernoulli's principle. Now however, the air blow the roof, that is the inside the room, now it's still atmosphere pressure P0. So due to this difference in the pressure, the roof is lifted and then the blown off by the wind as shown in figure. So this is how the blowing of the roof by the stormy wind will be. Now student, this was all we have seen about the chapter mechanical properties of the fluid. So if you have any doubts or any problem, then you can visit the videos of this topic from the first, then you can understand very easily. So thank you so much students.